Hello and welcome back to the short and sweet tutorial series. Today we're going to be building a log cabin. Not one of these guys, a cardboard box, but it should be quick and easy and fun, and I hope you guys learned something. Alright, here we are. We are back in our private server, and we have just set up and got plenty of trees cut down to make our log cabin, our cardboard box log cabin. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to turn them into hewn logs. So we're going to go over to our workbench, and we are going to go to storage, and we're going to make sure that this button is clicked so that the stockpile is linked with our workbench. We have 240 logs, so we're going to make 120 hewn logs. That's going to be cooked up. It's going to take a little bit. As you can see, they all disappeared. They're going to slowly trickle back into there. And while we're waiting for that, we're going to go ahead and knock out a 6x6 square in the ground for our floor. Okay, now obviously the way we do this is we use our shovel to get out the dirt, and then we throw it into our stockpile. This takes a little bit of time. It's kind of boring, so I'm going to fast forward through it. But you can only pick up one dirt at a time. Okay, we now have a 6x7 square. I like to use 6x7 as my first house just because it's convenient, and you'll see later why. But now, as you can see, we have both dirt and hewn log in our stockpile. If I put the dirt first and I go up to it with my shovel, I will pick up the dirt. If I have the hewn log first and I go up to it with my shovel, I will pick up the hewn logs, which I will then be able to use my hammer to go and place our floor. Now, you don't need a floor. If you want to use a wood floor, that's great. If you want to use a dirt floor, that works too. I prefer to make things look a little bit better. Other people prefer efficiency. Whatever you like more, you do. Okay, now you are able to do whatever you want. If you want to build a palace, you build a palace. If you want to build a square box, you build a square box. I build really simple in the beginning because I generally destroy everything I build out of hewn logs pretty quickly because I like building things, but you can do whatever you want. Now, what I'm going to start with first is I'm going to make a 4-high pillar on each corner. The top pillar is going to be the roof. The bottom 3 are going to be walls. I'll show you when it's complete. Okay, we now have 4 pillars. I'm going to go over to my hammer. I'm going to hold down shift. I'm going to scroll down to the wall block. Now you might see that there are 5 other blocks that you cannot use right now, and that is because you do not have the skill which is in carpentry called wood construction, which needs to be researched. When you get wood construction, you can go hewn log or lumber, and you'll be able to build the other 5 blocks. But for right now, you're stuck to building just wall pieces and these square pieces. Okay, now I have a completely enclosed box, which I'm going to make a door on right here. As you can see, I've made a 8x6. 8x7 works well too, but it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is where is your center block, or do you have 2 center blocks. The next step is going to be to create a roof, which we're going to use the normal square block to complete. Okay, we're finished. We now have a completely enclosed block, which I'm going to add some windows to for the hell of it. And as we can see at the bottom, it's still not a room. There's nothing down here. That's because we have a 2x2 entry space. You can make a 2x2 entry space if you have doors. It is now, as you can see down here, a volume 72 156 log container that can now house any kind of workbench, like, for example, the research bench. Or, for example, the research table, which looks like this, which can be crafted at the workbench. And we'll talk about that later. So, and I want you guys to remember this. Whenever you go to a workbench, any kind of workbench, at the top left will be a red or green button. Currently it's green because it meets all of the criteria it needs to exist. It's in an 18x18 space. It has tier 1 materials. It's contained within a room. There's not too many other objects in the room that conflict with it. You can see this research table is taking up 25 meters of the house. If there are more research tables in here, if it's too full, they will stop working. So remember that. Okay, that's going to go ahead and conclude our tutorial on how to build your first cardboard box. If you want these doors, remember you can always craft them at the crafting table. But it's pretty simple, and the ultimate goal is to establish this room so that you can create and use these workbenches. Alright, I hope you guys learned something, and if you liked, leave a like. If you want to see more videos, go ahead and subscribe. Alright, talk to you later, guys.